Um, do you have anger?
Sure, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I think I think and it should be a righteous anger. I think that any man who sees the injustices of the world and sees a massive, government and, attempts to subvert our American republic and our constitution and our liberties, I think that, that there is a righteous anger in that.
So you feel that it's normal for a man to be angry?
Yes.
Really? Is there love in anger?
Sure. Yes, absolutely
And
there can be.
really? And what does that feel like? The love of anger, what does that feel like?
Well, it's to look and say, this is someone who has perhaps wronged me, but that my love for them sort of supersedes that anger.
How do you deal with the hell in your wife when it comes out? You know, you wake up in the morning, you're all happy, and she's ticked about nothing. How do you deal with that hell in her?
I've only been married for 2 years, so we're still in the honeymoon phase. I haven't really experienced that yet, Jesse, but maybe I'll check back on you here in a year.
So you haven't done anything to tick her off yet?
Um, she's here with me right now watching and listening to this interview. I'm sure she'll have some really good questions for me soon. But Stephanie, is there anything that I've done that's really ticked you off since we've been married in the last 2 years? Anything that really ticked you off? No? No?
You put the words in her
She
mouth.
always expresses herself. She's a social worker and a therapist. So we resolve our conflicts whenever there's something that's a problem, we take care of it right away
So
so it
have you
doesn't build
ticked
up.
her off since married to her?
No,
You never ticked her off.
no,
So your wife have never gotten angry at you in 2 years of being married?
nope.
Really?
Yeah,
Does she have anger?
not really. She doesn't really she doesn't have any of that kind of stuff in her. She's basically like sunshine and rainbows and she's a unicorn, Jesse, and
So
not gonna
your
lie.
wife has no anger?
I don't really see any in her at all, honestly.
Really? So you have
Mm-mm.
anger, but your wife don't. So she a better man than you?
Well, maybe she's a better person than I am for sure.
Would she like to come on to the screen there for a minute?
Stephanie, do you want to step over here real quick and say hi to Jesse? My lovely, sweet This is Stephanie, and we've been married for 2 years now, and she'll tell you. Hold on, let me pull up the screen so you can see Jesse right there.
I haven't really made myself over good enough for
There you
this.
go.
Oh, you
Look,
look
he's right up
fine.
there, so
Hey,
you can say hi.
Stephanie.
Hi.
Yeah, you
How
can
you?
talk to him there.
Oh, I can't hear him.
You can't hear him. Here you go.
Okay.
Put the headset on. There you go, so you can hear him.
How you?
Hello, I feel like we've entered a therapy session.
I know. What is it like being married to a man that you are a better man than he is?
That I'm better than he is?
Yes. You're a better man than your husband. What does that feel like?
I guess I want to lift him up even more.
Really?
I want to help him be better.
And how can you help him be a better man?
Walk the walk and talk the talk. That's what I do.
Is it working?
I think so.
Is it
He's starting to diet, actually. Just today he's starting back on his diet. And I said, you know what? I already eat healthy. I'm going to set good examples for you. I'm going to make it easier for you.
Really? And so
Yeah.
how do you deal with the hell that's in him?
How do I deal with the hell that is in him?
Yes.
You mean just like issues that he might be facing?
Right. His overreaction, his emotion, he's angry. How do you deal with that? Since he can't help you with yours, how do you deal with that in him?
I stay very calm. I am a social worker myself, so I've done a lot of introspection work on myself. But I would say if I do see him getting overwhelmed, I just stay calm. And I just say, what do you need from me? Is there something I can do to help you?
Really? Did you
Yeah.
know you have to be the man before you married him?
Did I know I would have to be the man before I married him?
Yes.
I don't think so, because I looked up to him so much. I mean, he ran for president of the United States. So before I actually got to know him in a romantic way, I more so knew him as a political figure. So I think I got to know him, more so in the public eye rather than
And so,
personally.
and so, once you married him, were you disappointed to find out he wasn't the man you thought he was?
I wasn't disappointed, but I think there was an adjustment in terms of getting to know him all over again.
So, were you like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were points where I was shocked or surprised, where I'm like, wait, the president you is not the same as the personal you. You actually, don't give speeches in your daily life while you're sitting on your couch. Instead you actually do normal things like normal people. So I think there was a period, where I did have to separate the president him from the real him,
and
which is probably hard for anybody who marries somebody who is in the public spotlight.
especially for a woman, when she marry a man who act like a man, even to speak when you marry him, he's not that same person. How do so do you how do you avoid getting angry at him when he acting that way?
How do I avoid getting angry at
Does
him
that make you
when he
angry
acts?
sometimes when he act angry and overreactionary and stuff like that?
I don't think it makes me angry,
It
no.
irritates you?
No,
It-
I think it goes back to, like, my background and who I'm used to, being around in terms of my family environment.
yes.
So I'm used to being in a family where people don't always express their emotions in a calm way. So I'm just used to that, and as a social worker, I'm used to that.
Do you love being married to an emotional man?
I really like a man who shows emotion. Yes, I mean, I always tell Austin, I actually enjoy when he sheds a tear
Really? You
because in all of my past experiences with male figures, like my father, any past relationship I've had, I haven't seen the man shed a tear. Like, the
wow.
men I have known have almost been unable to cry. And so the fact that he is able to shed tears
That's amazing.
and actually talk about his emotions, I mean, that's really cool for me.
I bet. And how
Yeah.
does he deal with the hell that's in you?
How does he deal with the hell that is in me?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I do have hell in me as well. I mean,
Yeah.
although I am, a perfectionist outwardly, um, I struggle with anxiety. I mean, I am my worst critic. So the way that he handles that, sometimes he may not have as much patience as what my anxiety needs. And he
Amazing.
knows that and
Yeah.
he admits that. But he says, he's working on it. And I
So
see
is that
that.
disappointing knowing that you can't rely on your husband to help you deal with that?
It's disappointing that I can't rely on him to help me do that. No, because I really can. I mean, he may not give me the type of reaction that I'm looking for,
And what are you
but
looking
he
for?
does. I think I'm so used to people just holding my hand and being like, it's okay. It's okay to be afraid of those things. You don't have to do something that makes you afraid. Whereas Austin, he literally pushes me and empowers me to do the things that I'm afraid of, which
Amazing.
is probably what I need, but not necessarily what I want when I'm having an anxious
Do
reaction.
you want to overcome your anger? You want to overcome your hell?
Do I want to overcome my anger and my health? Well, yes, it has been a lifelong battle. And even knowing every therapy technique, everything I've ever learned or researched, it's still hard to fix yourself. And it's a constant thing every single day you have to
May
practice.
I tell you how to overcome your hell today?
How do I overcome my hell today?
Go and forgive your mother. Your mother has
Forgive-
recreated you in her image. You're just like her.
Yes.
Why don't you?
Yes, that is very true. My mom and I, we lived together up until I actually moved in with Austin. So, yeah, my mom and I, we have a very deep, deep relationship.
Go and forgive your mother's because she has recreated you in her image. Forgive
Yeah.
her. You don't need her to apologize, to admit it, or anything, but forgive her, and God will forgive you, and He will take her identity away from you and give you peace, and you'll be fine.
Wow. So if I just say, I guess forgive her for the qualities she instilled in me, is that what
Imposing
you're
her
saying?
will on you
Yeah.
and turning you away from your father, she caused you to resent her, and that resentment has separated you from God, and that's why you're having conflict. But once you forgive, hey mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize, you know how you can't help yourself but act out and have this fear and all that.
Yeah.
She can't help herself. Her mother did it to her, and so,
Oh, yeah.
but
It's generational trauma. That's what I call it.
But when you forgive her, God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. Mother, I'm
Yeah.
sorry for resenting you because she can't help herself just like you can't help yourself and your
Yeah.
husband can't help himself. When you say,
Yeah.
Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you, God will forgive you and he would take her
Mhm.
spirit away. But don't ever ask for forgiveness. You apologize for resenting them because they couldn't help themselves.
Yeah.
They did the best they could. And then you will
Mhm.
no longer have hell in you.
Yeah.
You will
I
have
I really
perfect
believe in the
peace.
power of forgiveness. I mean, I definitely I agree with what you're saying,
So
and
why haven't you
for
forgiven her then?
I think my mom I have. It's my dad I haven't forgiven.
Have you told your mother you've forgiven her?
I don't think so, but I
Then you
think
haven't
myself
forgiven them. Why haven't you
internally I
told
have.
her? Why haven't you told her?
Um, I don't know. I guess I just never thought to tell her
Why not?
outwardly. I just thought to continue a positive relationship
But you
after
don't
I've
have a positive
forgiven
relation.
inside.
You don't have a positive relationship with her. You have a fearful relationship with her.
I used to.
And
It's
you
getting
still do.
better.
You can't be honest with her now unless you're angry.
Right.
So you
That's true.
so you,
Yeah, just being but it's like, is there a point where it's okay to set boundaries with a parent in terms of how much you disclose
when you
of your
forgive
internal
her,
thoughts?
when you forgive her for what she's done to you, the boundary will automatically be set for you by God.
Ah,
And no one
yeah,
will cross those boundaries. But until you forgive her, Satan will continue to be your daddy.
yeah, that is true.
So do you want Satan to be your God or God to be your God?
I think God sounds nicer to me.
Well, go and forgive your mother and have no expectation. You're going to shake in your boots, but it'll be the last
Yeah,
time you ever shake.
yeah, vulnerable conversations are definitely terrifying.
It-
That is for sure.
Only because you resent her. Whomever you resent controls you.
Yes. Yeah.
Will you go and forgive her?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can say after the session, I honestly can. We talk all the time, so I can tell her. Is it okay if I told her that you and I talked about it?
That's fine.
Okay.
But you got to
Yep.
face her. She's not going to like it because she's on an ego trip and she won't like
Yeah.
it, but that's on her. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. I guess I just have to decide what I'm forgiving her for
For
exactly.
recreating you in her image and turning you away
Mm.
from your father.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. She and I. Yeah, we're very tight. That is
You,
very true.
you
Yeah.
just like your mama, and you don't want to be like your mama,
I don't want to be just like my mama. There
but
are
you
some good qualities, but not 100% like her.
real fast because of time. Give me one good quality about your mama.
Oh my gosh. She will give you the last piece of bread on her plate.
And you know why?
She is always kind.
You know why she does that?
She's a people pleaser
You know why that is?
because of how she was raised.
Yeah, and she tried to make people think she's good so they can treat her the same way to make her feel good. She'll give you the last piece on the plate, but it's not because for you, it's to make her feel good about her own weakness.
Ah. So how can you separate that if somebody is doing good? Like for example, if I'm doing good and giving to my community, is it because I want to get a benefit from it mostly?
100%. And that's why
Okay.
it's not doing good. It's all ego. You're doing that so people can see you in a certain way, so you can get
Yeah.
a false good feeling about yourself. And still, it doesn't stay, it doesn't last.
So then how do you just give because you wanna give rather than for your ego? How would you do that?
By forgiving your mother, and God will destroy the nature of the devil, which is your ego, and you'll be able to give in the right way at the right time.
So I'll still be giving, but it'll just be with different intention, you mean?
It will be with no ego expectation at all.
Okay. That's really cool. I kind of like that.
But you got to forgive your mother so God can forgive you, and He would change your heart from ego, anger to perfect love, and you will have perfect peace on earth.
That does sound very nice. I would like that.
And forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. He was married to his mother. He couldn't help it. He was afraid of your mother.
Yeah. Oh, he was afraid of my mother. You're right.
I rest my case because
Are you a psychic? You know so much. You don't even know anything about me, but you're like totally reading my family.
and because no, I'm not a psychic, but I do understand human nature.
You
And
do.
and unless you love your father, by meaning don't resent him, you're never going to be able to love God. So you can't
Yeah.
you can't hate your earthly father and think you're going to love God, because men represent the sons of God. So you got to
Yeah.
forgive him for not protecting you from your mother. He couldn't help it. He was married to
Yeah.
his mother. He loved you. He just didn't know how
Yeah.
to deal with her.
Right. But shouldn't he have been the bigger man? Talking about that bigger man, right?
Right. But he couldn't help it because he had become like his mother. He resented
Yeah.
her, so he became just like your husband is just like his mama. And so,
My husband is just like my dad's mom, you're saying?
no, like
Or
his,
he's
like
like his mother.
right.
Okay.
You end up doing the same thing your mother did. You married the
Yeah.
same type of man that your father is because you became attracted to what you hate.
Yeah, I do know that people do tend to marry people that have similar characteristics to their parental figures. So yeah, that definitely does make sense.
You are married to your mama.
I'm married to my mama. Sometimes I do tell him that he does remind me of my mom in ways. Yeah, with his more assertive personality. That is true.
I rest my case, and
Yes.
he need to forgive his mother and father so he can overcome that as well. But go and forgive your mother. You're gonna shake in your boots, and don't have
Yeah.
any expectation from how she's gonna act or what she's gonna feel. She could not help herself, right? Just say, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
sorry for resenting you. I become like you. I don't want to be like you." And God will
Mhm.
forgive you and forgive your father for not protecting you from her. He couldn't help himself. He ended up marrying a woman he hated as well, his mother. And you will go
Yeah.
free. And that way you don't pass that anger on to your children and your husband.
I do not want to pass on that trauma to my family.
Do you
No.
have children?
No, not yet, but we're hoping to start a family very soon.
Well, go and do it before you make a baby. So do it tonight. So you don't in case y'all have sex tonight.
All right. Yeah, no fun time until apologies happen. Okay.
Nice. That's right. It's good talking to you. What's your first name?
Oh, I'm Stephanie. So
Good.
nice to meet you.
All right. Would you let me know how it goes when you deal with your mother?
Absolutely.
All right.
I will.
All right, good talking to you. And
Good talking to you.
forgive your husband too. He cannot help it. His mother nature is controlling him as well.
Yeah, I'm much better at forgiving him than forgiving my family of origin, I would say.
Yeah, well, face your mother,
Yeah.
and you would not resentment would disappear, and you're going to deal with everybody in the same way with perfect love.
Yeah. That'll be great. Thank you so much. Do you want me to
Yes,
hand it back over to Austin? All righty.
yes,
Thank you.
amazing,
Thanks, sweetie.
Yep.
amazing,
Sweet.
Austin.
Didn't I get lucky?
Yeah, she found out she's married to her mama.
Very assertive. Yes.